Hi and welcome to another week on Fat Happens. Hope you enjoyed the web chat on Thursday with Michaela Dodd, whose book, The Fat Girl from Hollyoaks, is very much about her battle with weight. Now on Fat Happens, as you know, we believe that there are many different ways to lose weight, as many different ways as there probably are to put it on in the first place. And I don't believe in anyone being bullied into somebody else's belief or regimen. That's why we have members who are losing weight in many different ways, from diet supplements to gastric surgery, exercise programs right through to lipo. But I thought you'd like to meet some women whose decision to do it their own way back in the 80s has now put them at the head of one of the most successful weight loss programs there is. The ladies who started a program called LighterLife. In fact, we're welcoming some of their experts onto our web chats very soon. Well, I met Bar Hewlett, who co-founded it with Jackie Cox. You can hear the two of them talking on our first ever podcast, details at the end. But I popped along to the Royal Park Hotel in London's Mayfair with my trusty camera to interview Bar about her take on the weight problem and how to get rid of it. It's interesting because Bar said that it all started when a friend asked her that awful question, have you ever thought of losing weight?
Don't ask a fat person that, because have I ever not thought of losing weight? You wake up thinking of losing weight and you go back to bed. And because, she asked it and didn't smack her in the teeth, but I could have done. And she was involved in this research project. So I went along, and there a number of us met who had spent our lives trying to lose weight and had sometimes succeeded and sometimes not succeeded. And we got talking together about what we needed to help us lose weight. Between us, there was nothing that we hadn't tried. We'd rubbed it on, we'd slept in it, we'd swallowed it, we'd run after it, bounced around on it. We'd done absolutely everything. And knew that it was more than understanding that lettuce is good for us and chips isn't. It was so much more than that. So we got together and devised the program that we knew we needed. Two things that are so important. One is that we look at food as if it is an addiction. And with most addiction models, when you are talking about looking for a cure, you actually take away the substance to which you have a problem. Food is different from lots of things. You need never smoke again, you need never drink alcohol again. Food has got in it nutrition. And so it was putting in the full nutrition while removing the substance, so that you didn't need to worry about green ones and red ones and have I had enough of this or had enough of that. The food packs provided the nutrition. I didn't then have to deal with the stuff. And the second was understanding that I'm not stupid. I do know what I'm supposed to eat. The reason that there is a problem is that what I needed to understand was why was I using food inappropriately.
Does that mean, though, that everybody's really got to sort of look into their own minds to try and figure out why they eat? Or why they overeat?
I think it's understand rather than look into. It's beginning to understand your behaviour. Now, there are some people who have, over the years, just eaten a few calories too many on 1 or 2 or 3 occasions and have put a pound a year on, and after 40 years they're 40 pounds overweight, which is very different from those of us who have put on and taken off an awful lot of weight all the way through our lives. Life is going well and it's all okay, then everything's okay, and then you hit something in your life and you turn to the substance, and it could have been food, it could have been alcohol, it could have been all sorts of things, and the weight goes on. And it's that out of control. That when you go to bed at night and think, oh, I wish I hadn't eaten that, and tomorrow I'm going to do it properly, and you wake up in the morning and you can still taste the food in your throat because you had a last supper, because I'm never going to overeat ever again. And you start the day thinking, yes, but if I just have a sensible breakfast, then and it goes on and on and on and on. Tomorrow I'll do it. Today was a write-off. Tomorrow I'll do it. I'll just have it. If I have a curry now, I'm never ever going to want curry again. Well, that works, doesn't it? It's all that sort of thought process. So if people fall into that sort of pattern where they regret what they've done and they try not to do it and they do it again and again and again, then yes, they have to start looking at why.
I mean, what is the reason why, or is it very, very different for absolutely everybody? Is it an emotional thing? Is it something lacking in their life? I think a lot of people. What worries me is that a lot of people would be scared hearing that, because they think, God, there's such a lot of work to do. If I'm going to have to go into therapy and and solve the problems, my mental problems, then it's almost too big a problem to take on.
And I don't think it needs to be solving the mental problems. We don't need to go back to childhood and be reborn. I think it's understanding what the behaviour is and making decisions to change that behaviour. So it's looking at the here and now. I am who I am today. I can't change that. What I can do is change my behaviour from here on in. And by understanding some of the reasons that made me behave like I did up until now, I can perhaps make other choices from here on in. And sometimes I get it right, and sometimes I won't. It certainly isn't, oh, this is fine, this is a cure, because it isn't like that as well. I mean, the LighterLife logo is a ribbon that is gets smaller as it goes on, and that's very much how our attitude to people and how the way it's going to be. That to start with, there is big out of control sweeps, and it gets more and more controlled as time goes on. The fluctuations in weight lessen, so that eventually there is a balance and it just smooths out.
Is there an end to that ribbon? Or, I mean, is it a bit like an alcoholic? If you have an addiction to food, does it ever go away completely, or do you think it's always in there in your brain somewhere?
It's different for different people. Some people deal with the long term by identifying a specific food or food groups and saying, okay, I have a problem with that and I will never have it again. Other people have identified times, like I have a problem at my birthday or at the death of my mother or whatever it is that goes on, or when I'm tired or when I'm stressed or when I'm bored. So it's learning different behaviours to cope with those sorts of things. So in a way it's timeless, yes, because it's to do with us as being a human being, and as long as I'm breathing I'm a human being and alive, but it becomes less of a fight as it goes on. More understanding, less fight.